Hello there, all my little Uncle Al plus children. It's me, Uncle Al. I'm back from my trip to the grocery store for coupons and lottery tickets. What, I wasn't gone for that long. You didn't think I was coming back? Of course I'm coming back. I'm right here. Okay? Alright, look, let's just put it behind us. Anyway, hey, so it's been a while. I didn't really intend to leave this channel hanging for as long as I did. After that Mario Golf video though, man, let me just say, oh god. I was so ready to be done just talking about Nintendo and Nintendo stuff at that point. I'm just gonna be real, the Nintendo community is hot ass. It sucks. I mean, it's just absolute diarrhea garbage. I swear this community only wants to argue and bicker with each other, and it just got exhausting. I just got tired of dealing with it, you know? I'd go on Twitter and have 2 dozen, 3 dozen new fucking quote retweets of people dragging me through the mud because I said something they didn't like about Nintendo. It's just like absurd. It just got so old. And if you follow me on Twitter, you notice I don't talk about Nintendo on Twitter that much anymore. I still keep up with Nintendo and kind of what they're doing these days, but yeah, I don't feel the urge to put my thoughts and opinions out there because it's just gonna piss people off and get me dragged, and it's just exhausting. It's an exhausting loop. I can handle people disagreeing with me, okay? Look, there's nothing wrong with that. It's the rabid butt-fucking insanity of the community that they feel they have to completely destroy your entire fucking career because you said something about this multi-billion-dollar corporation that's taking advantage of the consumer. Anyway. So yeah, you know, I really don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel going forward. I have some ideas in mind, but you know, talking about Nintendo, it's just a pastime that I can't do away with. I'm more knowledgeable about Nintendo as a company than like any other video game thing. So you know, I'll just make videos shitting on them and post it to YouTube and not talk about it on Twitter at all, because this little community that we forged here is good, you know? We're all on the same page, you know? We want to see Nintendo do better, whatever, anyway. So, yeah, a lot of you have been asking my thoughts on Kirby and the Forgotten Land as a sort of follow-up to that Kirby video on the other channel. A new trailer dropped today, so I figured I'd just go ahead and do it. If I sound a little off, by the way, by any chance, I don't know. I am just getting over COVID. I was actually gonna work on another video today for this channel, and then that Kirby trailer dropped, so I'm like, yeah, you know what, fuck it. Let's just talk about Kirby, okay? COVID, by the way, it sucks, don't get it. So anyway, I expressed in that other video that I was not satisfied with where Kirby was as a franchise, you know? It was a lot of just repeating the same beats over and over for the last several games. Kirby Star Allies was the most by-the-numbers Kirby game that had ever been created. It was time for things to move on. I mean, it was very blatant and obvious to just about everybody at that point in time. Like, yeah, Kirby needs to do something new. And now we're finally getting that with Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Oh man, so Kirby and the Forgotten Lands, what's Uncle Al's verdict? Looks good. Pretty good. Looks like it's going to be a fresh, bold new step for Kirby moving forward. Graphically, it's pretty impressive, you know, lots of neat looking levels and set pieces. Look at the shot of the bridge. Oh, looks stunning. It almost looks like something out of Dark Souls. If it weren't for the lamps, I would think that this was from Dark Souls. You know? And oh man, dude, the shot of the desert. This. Wow, man, it's incredible. Gorgeous. So gorgeous. It looks like it'll have its fair share of secrets to uncover, you know, by exploring every inch of the environment. I love that shit. They're on the right path with that, methinks. I hope so. You know, this shot here gives me some hope for that. There's even some fun-looking bosses, and Wispy Woods is here. They really like this guy. Alright, it looks to be an interesting twist. Alright, I'll cut it some slack. There's gonna be co-op, but it's limited to 2 players, which I'm actually really glad about. I think that's an indication that this will be more of a focused adventure. The rules of the level design don't have to try to adhere to 4 players running around at once. You know, this is intended to be more of a solo experience that you can just happen to take a friend along with you for. I'm thrilled about this. Nintendo tends to put a lot of emphasis on multiplayer experiences at the expense of a solid solo one. Not everything has to be some empty multiplayer romp, so this is good. Very good. Alright, so this is the part where I put on my skepticals, okay? I'm not sorry, I can't help it. I think I will probably always err on the side of caution when it comes to Nintendo games in the future. I think as a business, they suck nowadays, you know, ripping off the consumer is the name of the game. I don't know if you guys remember that video from last year where I was talking about the 3D All-Stars fiasco, but I totally predicted the price hike for the N64 games on Switch Online. I think $10 is a good price for all three of these games individually, so $30 for the whole package I think is fair. And Nintendo knows how much you want those legacy games on your Switch. Time to capitalize. Asking $60 on its own might be a bit of a stretch, so let's only make it available for a limited time to give it the illusion of a great deal. It's lazy, it's lousy, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit scared for the future of N64, GameCube, and Wii content on the Switch. I'm just taking a wild stab here, but I'm feeling pretty confident that 3D All-Stars is likely a precursor to what's in store for the Switch Online service in a way. By releasing this compilation at a premium price, they can't just suddenly drop N64, GameCube, and Wii titles on the Nintendo Switch Online for the current $20 a year price tag. They have artificially increased the value of these games by taking advantage of the already high demand. So they will likely bump up the subscription cost to God knows what if you have any interest in playing those games. This is just the kind of shit Nintendo does now. It would be one thing if the emulation was good and the connections were stable, but that's not the case, and I refuse to make that purchase until they get their shit together. Adding one game every 4 months to the service is not gonna sell me on it either. So yeah, much like everything else they do in present times, I can't help but have my own reservations about Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So let me just start off by saying, you know, game length to me is somewhat important when you're paying a premium price tag for a game, and a number of Nintendo's recent titles miss that mark for me, sometimes by a wide margin. Let me give you some examples. WarioWare, it's a $50 game. I completed the story mode, the main course for the game, in 2 hours. Now you might be saying, come on Al, there's side modes. The story mode isn't the only mode in the game. You're being disingenuous, and yeah, okay, there are other modes that are not nearly as good as the story mode. Sure, you can try to go for high scores in specific micro games and all that, but I felt very little incentive to do much beyond completing the 2-hour story mode. That's what I came for. Beyond that, it's just playing the same micro games again and again. It's fun, but it's not $50 worth of fun, you catch my drift? Star Allies, especially at launch, fell into this trap. Beyond being yet another safe and predictable Kirby title, it had like 4 worlds. It did not take long to complete. $60, and oh, God, do I dare even bring it up? Yeah, fuck it. Metroid Dread is a great game, okay? It's my favorite Nintendo game in years. What? You can beat it in 8 hours. That's a $60 game. I know there was a lot of discourse online about this, and I don't want to get too into it, but you know, it probably could have used like maybe 2 more areas, okay? Just to give it a little more meat. So yeah, tying this back into Forgotten Land, it's 3D Kirby. It's something new, but will they use this concept to justify having a shorter game? I don't know. That's a big question mark on this whole thing. I get hung up on price tags because I'm old. And I don't have as much time to game as I used to. So when I pay $60 for a game, I want something with a little more meat to it, you know, something that I could play and come back to and still have some stuff to do. Not something I can knock out in one sitting. I want to feel justified in my purchase, and oftentimes I feel a little bit shortchanged with Nintendo games. Of course, that'll vary from person to person, yada yada, I digress. Alright, so there was another part of this video that I had recorded at this point. This is where it was supposed to come in. Essentially, I compared what we're seeing from these Kirby trailers to Super Mario 3D World. I think there's a lot of similarities in the sense of kind of the linear sort of level design and structure and all that. And I didn't cite it as a bad thing. But essentially what I said was that, you know, I'm a bit concerned that maybe it wouldn't be as ambitious of a step forward for Kirby as we would like for it to be, but you know, I found it hard to even agree with myself in saying that. Just looking over both of these trailers again, it looks great, honestly. I mean, you know, man, even the skeptic in me said, hey, dude, take it down a notch, come on now. The truth of it is that this does look like a pretty ambitious step forward for Kirby. It's a great start, unlike another game that I see coming up in the future. Maybe I'll do a video on that. So yeah, you know, basically this was a really long-winded way for me to say that I'm a little worried that maybe it won't live up to that $60 price tag. Maybe the length will be a little on the short side. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we have a fantastic game on our hands. Honestly, look, the optimist in me honestly thinks this is probably going to be a pretty good time, okay? Now, they better not pull a finish it later with this, like they did with Mario Golf, which, by the way, ended with all the gusto of a wet fart. I will continue to withhold my full judgment, though, until it is in my hands, and then we know for sure. I'll probably do a video on it. Very, very likely that I will probably do that, yes. If you're excited for this game, I hope my thoughts don't impede on your excitement, but let's be honest, you knew what you were signing up for when you clicked this video. It's me. You know, I've been watching a lot of Curb Your Enthusiasm recently, and I'm realizing that I'm like the Larry David of Nintendo discussion and discourse. My enthusiasm is thoroughly curbed for this company at all times. What do you guys think? How you feeling? How you doing? What do you think about Kirby in the Forgotten Land? Are you excited, or are you remaining cautiously optimistic like myself? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next one, whenever that may be. This is Uncle Al. Goodbye.